Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Reece with Smoking in Kentucky, and we make food here. We make good food here. Don't mind my surroundings. So I'm in my garage today because my kid's in there having a good time. You know what I'm saying? He's just being a kid. He's having a good time right now, and the birds are chirping really loud, so I got the garage door closed. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Today we're gonna make cowboy ribeyes. Cowboy ribeyes is just a bone-in ribeye. Ribeyes are probably the most delicious cut of meat that's on a cow. Second most delicious cut of meat that's on a cow. But a ribeye is the steak you want if you can't get the steak that you need. No, that's not right. That's not right. Ribeyes are the steak you want. Period. It's just juicy and it's just flavorful. It's just a really good steak. It's one of my favorites. I'm not really a fan of New York strips. I like strips, but I like the fat. And there's no fat on the strip. So on my ribeye today, like I said, it's a bone-in ribeye, cowboy ribeye, and it's gonna be good. Some pretty good eating. So stick with me. I'll show you how to get this thing seasoned up, and we're gonna cook it today on a cast iron on a skillet because it's morning and I gotta go to work. But I'm gonna eat this steak before I go. Me and my wife are gonna enjoy the steak, and it's pretty good steak, you know. So, yeah. Now, what we're gonna start with today is this bone-in cowboy ribeye. I got it at Walmart. It's a USDA Choice Angus. Not a lot of marbling going on, you know. Not a lot of fat cap. Shouldn't really have to trim anything because I want all of this, you know. But this is what makes this thing special right here. Is the fact that it has a bone. Now with this bone, there's going to be all kind of flavor in this bone. So you want this. You want to keep this until it's over, you know, until you get done cooking. And then we're going to take that bone out. We're going to enjoy this ribeye. Look at this thing, man. It's pretty good. Pretty good Walmart USDA Choice, you know. Certified Angus. It's not bad, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good. So let's go ahead and, you know, season this thing up, and we're going to go at it. Like I said, today we're going to do a very light seasoning on it. A very, very light seasoning. Today we're just going to do cracked salt, you know, cracked sea salt, and fresh cracked pepper, black pepper. That's all we're going to do. And that's really all you need to season a really good steak. So let's just go at it. A little bit of salt. I like a lot of pepper because, I don't know, I'm a peppery kind of person. So, you know, you can season it to your taste. But I like salt and pepper. One side. Two sides. And what you want to do is have a little bit of leftover on your cutting board, and I'll show you what to do with those leftovers. Leftover seasonings that you left on this cutting board. You know, pad those down because you want the meat to be into the steak, not on the steak, you know. Pat that guy down, don't worry about that right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll the ends, the fat sides of this steak into all that leftover residual seasoning, right? You know, just make it look happy. Get it all good. So we're going to set that there. We're going to let it rest for about, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes to just let that salt and that pepper penetrate that steak. And we'll be back when it's time to put them in the cast iron. But like I said, there's not a lot of seasoning on this steak, you know. Just, you want to taste the meat. Pause. So we're just going to have the salt and pepper on this steak today. We're going to put them in the cast iron, and cast iron's in the house. We're not going to grill or cook outside today. So, see you in a second. Now, while that steak is over there marinating in that salt and that pepper, I say marinating, not really marinating, but seasoning in that salt and that pepper, taking time to sweat. This is a good time right now to turn on this cast iron. Now, this is one thing that you need to remember about cast iron. You don't want to put anything in it until it's a hot skillet. Nothing. Like, I don't want to put oil in it. I'm definitely not going to put any meat in it because it's going to stick. So you got to bring the skillet up to temperature before you can even think about putting anything in it. Okay, now that the skillet, cast iron's pretty hot, what we're going to do now is add a little bit of vegetable oil to the skillet. Just for a light coat, you know. Very, very light, very, very light. Also, what we're going to do is turn the heat down on the skillet to medium heat as opposed to the high heat that it was on, because we don't want this thing to sear too fast. We just want to cook this thing evenly all the way through. So we're going to turn down to medium heat. We're going to let this oil in this pan kind of do its thing, hit all these corners. And then what we're going to do is just put this big old cowboy in here, you know? Just listen to this sound. Listen to the sound. This is going to be delicious. Oh, yeah. That's what it's supposed to sound like. So we're just going to let that cowboy ribeye just sit in that pan and get hot for a little bit, you know. Then we're going to flip it to the other side. But we're going to keep it here for probably about 4 minutes. 4 minutes on this side, 3 minutes on the other side. And then we're going to crank the heat up so that we can get a good sear on this thing. Stay tuned. So we gave that thing a good flip. First flip. And it's still just, you know, sitting there getting happy. But right now what we're going to do is cut a few little tabs of butter. A few tabs of butter. I like to butter baste my steak. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of butter, maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. That's what we'll do. We'll do 2 tablespoons of butter. And I like my butter on my steak to have a little bit of spice to it. So I like to use a little bit of Tony chicories. I'm probably not supposed to put that, but Tony chicories in there to butter baste my steak. Get back, Liam, little rascal. Alright. So, of course, you gotta take it out of the paper, obviously. Don't put the paper in there. I mean, I shouldn't have to say it, but I'm sure that somebody will put it with the butter in there because I've seen it. Alright, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to take these tabs of butter that I just took out. We're going to put them in that skillet like that. Alright, we're going to let him get happy, right? Now with that, like I said, Tony chicories, I like to put that in there and it's right on top of the butter. And it's just going to melt into that butter. That butter's just going to do what it needs to do. Right? So when that butter melts all the way down, you can start basting this steak in that butter. Give you a nice size spoon. Might sneeze a little bit. Get your skillet like so. Get you that spoon. And then just wash that steak in that butter. Wash that steak in that butter. Just wash that thing in that butter like that. Now all that good spices and seasonings that's in that butter and just in that skillet living happy is going to live on top of that steak. And I'm a fan of even distribution, so that being said, flip the steak over like so, and I butter baste the other side. It's not rocket science, it's just really good food, really good practice. So butter baste that steak a little bit, let him do what he needs to do, and right now, this steak is done. So what we're going to do is take this steak. We're going to turn the heat off on your oven, your stove. We're going to take this steak like so. Put him right here on this cutting board, and we're just going to let him rest for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, and come back and slice this thing. So after you let the thing rest for 5 minutes or so, you can come in and you can take this bone out like so. Just take that bone out. If you got a neighborhood dog or something, give it to the neighborhood dog. Make him the happiest dog you ever seen. Good eating on that dog. So here you go, and we're gonna start slicing this thing, right? Look how this thing just melts, man. I mean, this is how your steak should cut. Look at that thing. Inconsistent cuts, but hey, you know, no big deal. I like my steak rare to very, very medium rare. So, if you don't like your steak like that, you should, because that's the way to eat a steak. But if you don't like it like that, cook it for longer, you know. Turn the heat down and cook it for longer. But if you like it the way I like it, the perfect way, your steak will be beautiful. Look at this thing. Look at this thing, bro. Let's taste this thing right quick. Get you a little taste of this thing real quick. I don't know what angle that looks like, but hey, let's go ahead and take us a little piece real quick, like this one right here. It's got a lot of fat in it. Look at that. Oh man, that is some kind of good. So there you have it. Cowboy bone-in ribeye, prepared. Let me get it right. Cowboy bone-in ribeye prepared in the cast iron. The butter and the little bit of Cajun seasoning at the end. But there it is, you know. And you can enjoy this, you know, you can share it with somebody. It's a pretty big steak. You can enjoy this with yourself. You can, you know, put some eggs with it or something. I don't know, ranchero, whatever you want to do. But Cowboy bone-in ribeye. Okay, so there you have it. Cowboy ribeye here smoking in Kentucky. Done on the cast iron in the house. Not smoking, obviously, but cooking in Kentucky today. Obviously, my appearance changed at the end of the video. I got a haircut and I changed clothes. It's because I did not like my outro. I had to come back and, something different. But anyway, if you liked what you saw in the video, like down at the bottom. Subscribe would be great, if you want to see more of this content. And this is me, man. This is my page, and we're gonna do great food here. So stay with me, grow with me, and anything that you didn't like or that you did like, you can put down in the comments below. And I promise I'll get back to you because I have nothing better to do than be on YouTube. Or cut hair, because I cut hair too, but that's a different channel. But anyway, smoking in Kentucky, inaugural video. Come back, we got more heat for you, and have a good day.